Chicks don't like to trade. What's up, dudes? Zers and Zers. Welcome. It's been a long time. It's funny, Josh just mentioned it's actually a 424 or a 242 episode. That's pretty hilarious for today, too. Yeah, I was looking at I haven't done a stream since the very end of December was the last date plugged into OBS. So it's only been about 4.5 months, on time with my daily uploads. Anyway, who cares about any of that? Let's talk about some price action. Feel free to put some stuff in here if we want to go look at it, whatever. I think Scott was talking about silver Doge pairing, maybe? Is that what you were talking about? I don't know. I've never looked at that one. That's an interesting thing to look at, but we can go check it out here in a second. But let's just talk about Mama Bear and some total market caps. Oh, damn. They're pretty low. I haven't looked at this chart in a while. Oh, my God. Hold on. Let's fix this. There we go. Brutal. Oh, let me turn this off because no one's going to have that. There we go. Oh, man. Brutal. Yeah, we're all the way down here. Man, we tapped almost $1 trillion. Hey, but we are coming on these lows. Something I was talking to with a couple buddies is a lot of the charts last night were coming to major support around last summer. Not everything, like Litecoin I don't think was. Let's see. Yeah, Litecoin's way below it. Litecoin's actually went to the shitter. Jesus Christ. It went all the way back to the 2020 breakout range. Ew, Litecoin sometimes leads the market. Is it saying that we're going to go down there and test all that? Oh, don't tell that to the bulls, because that's like... Oh my God, that would be like 12K for Bitcoin. Ouch. Anyway, let's just do Bitcoin. So, Mama Bear coming right here. Look at this nice bounce off the VWAP. And right above this horizontal, mid-20s is definitely huge support. It's your meme pair. Nice. Huge support there. And you can see it's rallied. Shit, what is that? $4,000 almost off that low. That's pretty good. Not too shabby. Although in big bear markets, which I would consider what we're in now, especially just with prices of anything, whether it's crypto, traditional, whatever, everything is selling off. And when you get correlations 1-to-1 like that on sell-offs, it's generally not a good thing. That's when the bears are really strong. I mean, because we've got gold selling off, bonds, euro, all the stuff that kind of rallies when markets sell off is just getting destroyed. Utilities, I think, and healthcare were the only ones that kind of played how they're supposed to, and that's probably more on the backs of rising rates than the down correlation, which I'm sure that they're going to be catching up here in a second anyway. I'm getting sidetracked here, but we'll go look at that later. All right, Bitcoin, Mama Bear. Decent bounces here off these levels. I kind of like it. I like this 458 candle. It's the first one that's engulfed like some big price action. So, I mean, that's kind of decent. It's just reaffirming that the mid 20K area is definitely the next level of major support. I think anything back below this little tail at 25, I mean, pretty much easily opens the door to like 18 to 22. And that is where I think probably the bottom is in this cycle. But I was looking at this BLX chart that I made. Whoops, not that one. That's a good one too, though. Hold on, let me load it up. It's this one here. The halving anal. That's what I called it. Yeah, we're going to 12K. Oh, yeah, Scott. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin plays around like it has and follows all of its previous cycles, like this chart I'm showing right here, I'm just calling it the Bitcoin halving cycles. And these blue boxes are the 382 retraces from the breakout points on Fibonacci. And the only difference in this cycle is that the 382s lined up perfectly with the 80% levels of sell-off. Let me see this real quick too. Not so much back here, so it's almost like back in 2012 days. But anyway, the 80% level does not match with the 382 this time. So it's kind of if that 18 to 22 doesn't hold, then holy crap, then, you know, maybe it does go to 12K. That would probably wash out everybody almost in crypto if Bitcoin went to $12,000. That would be pretty brutal. You can see, though, look at how well this is following all these other fractals. Like, right about in the middle of the range, you get the test in the middle of the range, and by that I meant the middle of the halvening cycles, which were right here. We always get dips about in the middle before the next cycle. We're literally like right at the 50% mark. So, yeah, Bitcoin is doing its thing as per usual. I do think for me, DCAing is going to be, I'm going to be engaging that here now, because I do think that this is a safer zone to do that in. Just because we're already off the highs, what, 50% or something or more? Oh my God, 60%. Is that correct? Oh crap! Hold on. Let's go back to our main chart here. Yeah, it is. Wow, 60%. So that 80 is all the way down here at 12.5, which 12.5 was like the pivot point back here for the breakout zone. 12,000 handle was very important. If you remember in like some of the older videos, we talked about that level a lot. Let's see. So, failed breakout. From failed breakouts come moves, fast, quick moves in the opposite direction, which we most definitely got here. Pretty nasty. Yeah, losing that 37. I mean, TA has been respected on Bitcoin like the Jesus, man. I mean, it always has respected TA very well. Probably a little bit more than most stuff, but now we're on the other side. So now the shorts have gotten paid. They've gotten rewarded. And so now we're kind of on the bottom end of this range. You know, taking shorts down here, in my opinion, is a little bit dangerous. Maybe if we get a big rally up into the low 30s again. But, you know, most people don't like to short anyway. So I'm kind of just waiting now for the turn. I'm mostly still in cash. I've been in cash for a long time. The longest I ever have been trading crypto, for sure. But, you know, I kept almost all of my gains, though, from the run-up. So I'm not too mad. And now I've just got gunpowder just waiting. I nibbled a little bit last night on some price action. Because I just kind of, like, I feel like we're just getting into that relief zone, which we did get today. So that's pretty nice. I don't think we're out of the woods quite yet, though. We need a little bit more confirmation on the lower time frames. We're kind of getting it a little bit, but we need more. I need to see us above the 10 simple and definitely the 21 EMA. And again, like we talked about a lot on these videos before, you know, getting below the 21 EMA on the weekly is just never a good sign. And we can kind of clean this chart up a little bit, clean up the drawings. And you can see that's the yellow line here. And that has really marked the pivot zones for Bitcoin in almost its whole history. I've thought that, you know, below the 21 EMA is a good time to start thinking about engaging DCA if you want to trade that way, which it can work. Just not doing it when we're in a super bullish trend. Like all these people that finally got in, you know, most of last year are pretty much all underwater now. Actually, they are all underwater. If you bought any time in the last, what is that, 18-ish months almost, you're pretty much under, and you're real pissed. There's a lot of, I think MicroStrategy's average is like at upper 20s. So, you know, it's pretty like this isn't too absurd to get this bounce right here. The problem is we're going to need follow through. Like, it's not the bottom quite yet, but it could be if we get some dailies closing. We just don't quite have enough information yet to make a safe call on that. Bears are definitely still fully engaged. Let me see a weekly. And one thing that will suck is if this weekly closes below all this business. If that happens, we could probably look for a little bit more downside. The best thing I think for bulls right now is Ethereum actually has it a little bit better than Bitcoin, bouncing right off of these low tails. is if the body on this weekly close could be back above about 18, like pretty much 1900. That would be pretty cool. That would be not too shabby. But again, bulls have just got a lot of work to do, man. With the municipal bond market and some other things that are happening, it's just not... doesn't give you a whole lot of confidence for the long-term bull side, that's for sure. Let's see. Futures showing kind of the same thing. I mean, this is steep. There's no doubt about this. These speed lines, when they're really, really aggressive like this, they generally don't last too long. And when they finally break, you know, you can look for pretty violent moves in the opposite direction. So kind of keep an eye on that, see if this momentum starts to wane. But I mean, we're getting increasing volume every day, so we probably still got a little bit left to go in that. GBDC for the win again. I know I hate Novogratz, but the value of this chart, I mean, is pretty stellar, man. Like, it called the fake out here. It called the fake out in April. It called the fake out even in this April. So, like, this April, last April, and last fall, it's literally called bullshit on the rallies every single time. It's pretty impressive. Even when it broke this formation on the ascending triangle, which looked pretty nice for a while, then you bust out of it, get a retest at the 21 rejection, then you get follow through. Yeah, pretty funny that GBDC is kind of some secret sauce a little bit. That and Litecoin, I think, are both kind of in that realm, which is funny because no one really likes GBDC unless you're trying to put it in, what is it, your IRA. You've been able to do that for a while with it, so I guess that's kind of cool. When double all the price. Oh, right now, it's happening today. Let's see. What do we want to look at now? Most of these coins look the same. The best chart probably is something like Mirror. No, I'm just kidding, but we're gonna look at it because they've anything with tether scamming, not USDT, but stable coin scamming. Like Luna, I guess obviously is the good example right now. But Osmos, Mirror did it. I mean, they were literally just Ponziing the shit out of it. So this isn't... They pretty much did BitConnect in a different way, a slightly different way. But there it is. It's brutal. It's death. Hopefully a lot of the selling is maybe just from this too, like contagion stuff, and then the market's going down. And maybe we're just getting a nice opportunity to buy some discounts like Dogecoin. Oh my gosh, I want to buy so much Dogecoin. And I had some resting orders down here. I think some of them got filled, but I was really looking for 5 cents, although I'm probably nitpicking because from where it wicked out at 6.5 pennies, I mean, what the hell? It's like not even 20% from there. But I do think a Doge single penny is probably pretty damn solid. I definitely like that one. And funny, still people, a lot of respected people in this space and traders that I know, they almost all shit on Doge. Like 80+% of them. It's really weird. It's like, why is Doge hated that much? Like, oh, it has no utility. It has no fundamentals. I was like, yeah, but its community is like... And it's a meme coin. That's like saying memes don't matter or something. That's like pretty much the way the internet communicates now. Alright, let's see. Hex even selling off, but bouncing off these lows. I mean, a lot of charts are doing that same kind of thing. Zcash is something that I think will be nice at some point in the future. Because if you look at this, look at Zcash's all-time chart. It never even broke trend in that rally. And all the 2021 rally. It did good. It went up like 300-400%, which... you know, relatively speaking, is pretty low beta against all the other stocks, like, or cryptos. I mean, that's pretty shitty. 400%. That sounds crazy to say that. 400% is trash. But, you know, relative in the crypto market when a lot of stuff was going 10, 20, 30x. And it's just kind of consolidating in this triangle. I think above $50, 50 to 80 is a pretty sweet spot on Zcash. and maybe it will have its day someday. What is that they say about Snowden and Zcash? I don't know. There's rumors floating around about that. I don't know. I don't really care about anything. I just watch the chart. But, you know, I think price is all there. And it's funny, we're tapped all the way back into this nice little zone. So that's cool. So, again, I'm going to be DCAing here. But don't listen to me. I'm just some YouTube idiot. So I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Let's see, XLM, XRP. Oh yeah, XRP is actually fairly decent. I would really like to see this upper 20s test. That would be a very sexy entry for myself. I would really like that one. But man, this is in no man's land, really. Trading in this zone, period, almost in anything is very high risk because shit's just moving. I mean, what was it? Yesterday, Ethereum in the morning sold off 12% in like 35 minutes or something. So just be very careful if you're trading out there. Maybe just lower. I'm lowering like position sizes just in case, because you just never know what can happen. It can get very brutal out there. All right, any like things we want to look at specifically, just please do type them up in the chat. I'm just kind of fanning through some of these. Man, Ethereum Classic, absolutely raped. I mean, this is brutal, man. What is it? It's only down 90%. Can't go lower, bro. Here, let's show you a can't go lower chart. This is a really good example of one. Look, it was only down 93% yesterday. Can't go lower, bro. Oh, except for another 98% today. Brutal. It's like this chart's, and this is in log scale. And it looks like this. That's when you know the price action and the movements are ginormous. As in log scale, it looks like this. Like Monero. Oh, Monero's kind of cool here. I like this indecision doji that's possibly going to print today, right on the 200 weekly. So that's kind of nice. I really think ultimately the weekly and the monthly closes in the next 2 weeks for May are going to be super, super important. And maybe give us a little bit of a clue for the market direction here in the near future. But pretty nasty. Oh, yeah, I wanted to share this chart with you guys. Oh, what's up, Josh? All right. Let me share this chart real quick, and then we'll do those tickers for you. No, not this one, this one. So I made this chart, I don't know, in December or something. I don't remember when it was. I just added this little arrow because we just printed it. So I made it late last year, and I just noticed that January is really important trend indicator for Bitcoin. And so you can look at all these Januaries in these major cycles of the last 6 years or so. And I have some notes here. And pretty funny that January's percent candle closed at 16.66% down. Freaking markets are silly like that. It's like the SPX bottomed in the '08 crash at 666. It's like what the hell? Meme power, I guess. Anyway, so you can see some of these notes here. The average piercings after the 21, which we did pierce here just for a little bit, which was that yellow candle. So maybe I updated this probably at the close to the end of January, it looks like. And so I wrote on here, if we do the same pattern in average of the stabs, we're looking for like 20K-ish by early summer, which is kind of coming slightly to fruition here. But ultimately, I wanted to just share this chart more for just the January price action, kind of capping price or setting in nice bottoms. And so right now, it's just capping in the price. And so pretty much as long as we're sub like, what is that, 48K or something, you know, you can't really get full girthy bull boners until we really get back above that. That will change over time too, maybe on the lower time frames, you know, if we're on like on weeklies or dailies or something like that. You know, obviously 32 is going to be a number, 42,000 is a number. There's some smaller ones, but in the macro sense, like 48,000, man. So But right now we got to think, I believe, or at least I'm thinking of scooping and DCAing in this range, because hopefully this will be like every other cycle in Bitcoin, and just kind of do some testing. Or here, let's look at this one. Do some testing, consolidation, lots of sideways, pissing people off, taking way too long to do anything, and then we'll get ready maybe at the end of summer or like beginning of next year or something. I mean, that's kind of what the patterns and fractals have done in crypto since Bitcoin's existed. I don't feel any reason that it should be different until it is, right? I know that sounds kind of silly, but that's kind of how it works. Hedges need to cover their treasury positions. Whew. They got to do something. And look at this chart, dude. This is the chart that scares me the most, municipal bonds. I mean, look, it's almost at the lows of Corona. Just selling off every fucking week. Every week since the year started. Just brutal. And this is like retirement money is all up in these. Pension funds own this. Like, this is very huge moves. Like, this is where, over down here, my dad hit me up and was like, the Fed's going to print money, right? My portfolio's down. Because he's a normie, buys all these municipal treasury bonds because the banks sell them and get their fat fees off of it and all that shit. And they're like, oh, it's safe. It can never go down. Yeah, well, let's look at it on long term, too. It doesn't really go up either. It just kind of lollygags sideways. But anyway, I don't like this chart. It's very scary to me. This volume right here, just steadily increasing the whole time, the most it's ever had. I don't know. Something is just off-putting about this chart. It is not sexy time. All right, let's go to XLM. Oops, not this XLM. This one. Yeah, it's getting a nice little bounce here. These could be some hammer candles, potentially. Crypto does like to do hammer candles and then come back in and test some of them, though. I have noticed it's very common in crypto land to come in and test like about halfway in, usually to the wick, sometimes even like a 618 retracement. So that's something like if you did it like this, where you go bam, bam, you know, it's about 11 pennies or so. But yeah, you can kind of apply that to a lot of these alts that are making that. So if we're going to if bulls are going to kind of take over from here, staying above about half back on these hammer type candles that are forming today would be a very good start. XLM though looks okay down here. I mean, even though it looked really nasty, technically speaking, a lot of these charts were just testing the top part of breakout zone, which is actually kind of healthy. I mean, you know, this isn't healthy when it just goes up every single week. It's not sustainable. And coming back to test a major consolidation pattern before the breakout is pretty damn good. I do like that. And as long as it's above about 10 pennies, it's not really too crazy. Starting to lose 10 cents, I would get a little bit concerned on this chart for sure. But above 10 pennies... and maybe you could even stretch it down to like 8.5 cents if you wanted to be a little bit more loose with that. But yeah, above a dime, it's okay. The cool thing about a lot of these sell-offs, man, is like even looking at risk to reward perspective, you're like, well, it's only about, and I've noticed almost everything is about this, about 20-30% to its major, like next major support area, where if it goes back below that, then we could have another 50-60% dump or something. But a lot of them are around that zone where it's about 30-ish% risk. And I mean, at this point, you're looking at probably, you know, 3-to-1s on a lot of stuff, because a lot of stuff could double here and still be bearish, or at least do 50% to a double and still be bearish. So, you know, risk to reward is pretty good on that. All right, let's go to, oh yeah, helium. We were talking about that earlier. Nice swift bounce off the, that's not 666, is it? Okay, it's 654. I was going to say, get this shit out of here. Very damn close, though. Let's see, this weekly, I mean, breaching, I don't like the tail below all this, but if we can get the weekly to close back up above like 1050-ish, maybe that looks okay. Still, though, we just need a lot more time to really confirm that the bears are done with their selling. And it's just going to take, you know, I think the rest of this month at least to really just get enough data points and enough like dailies and a few more weekly candles to make a better assessment off of that. It's looking very tempting to buy a lot of stuff down here, but it can still go lower. And we're just not even above any of the short-term MAs yet. I mean, even like, I usually don't use 3 hour for crypto, but even like on 3 hour, like we just keep running into about the 21 and getting backed off on. So on helium though, I'd say above this little swing, these wicks at about $8. As long as it stays above $8, that's pretty good. We start getting comfortable back below 8. I mean, then $4 is the target range, $4 or $5. So, just don't get entrenched in love coins right now. There's probably some opportunity, but if the price breaks back below major structures again from some of these, especially from some of these big rallies today off the lows, then it could still keep dumping. And, you know, even from here to 5, that's another 50% down. So I'm using just a little bit smaller buys, and then that way if I buy, let's say, you know, whatever your average, let's just make something up. If you go in $10,000, then just do only 20% of that. Just do like 2,000, and then that way it won't kill you that much if it does end up dropping some more. I think that's a safer way. That's kind of how I'm playing it. But again, who the hell am I? What is pre? Is that pre-search? Is that this one? That's a funny name. Never even heard of this coin. I'm assuming it's this pre-search one. It's even better than research. It's pre-search. Again, like kind of like a lot of the other charts, previously testing the 2021 and 2020 breakout zones, depending on how old the coin is. And I mean, above 5 in the 5-cent handle is pretty decent, man. I mean, I can't really get too bearish. I mean, obviously you get bearish from here, but you can't get extra bearish when you're already in the hole freaking 50-60%. Like, you already missed that. So right here for scoopy time, because I think that's the mode to be in, cautiously scooping, is about 5 pennies, and it looks okay. I mean, that's not a terrible chart. It's not very old. That's probably the worst part about it. But I mean, you do have this trend line here it's bouncing off of, plus the weekly support. We can put on the cheat code volume profile. Well, this is actually way more evenly distributed than I would have expected. Yeah, agreeing with about 5 cents too on that. You start getting below 5, upper 3s becomes likely, and even flashes to like 2 pennies could easily be in the cards on that one. So that's right, pre-search. All right, cool. Let's go to like normie markets, because this is the biggest problem right now. Like, again, everyone thinks it's a hedge, crypto's a hedge. It's not. It never has been. Not on the short term. Yeah, maybe if you were holding for the last 7 years or 6 years, but dude, that's like 1% of people did that. You know how hard it is to hold through like 2 or 3 80% or more drawdowns and still be there? It's literally almost impossible. All right, so you can see here on weekly or monthly correlations. I mean, you can see NASDAQ specifically, it's very, very strong. Obviously with S&P it is too. These are just correlation numbers here. And I mean, they're almost like 1. I mean, 0.8 and up on correlation analysis is like, that's pretty much 1-to-1. But anyway, so selling off again, real steep though. These are getting, I mean, look at the 10 simple. It looks like a trend line. You don't see that very often where it's that straight. Right here, that's the cyan color. You do not see that very often. So when this snaps back, which it will at some point, it's going to probably be very violent. And I think we're getting close to that. It feels a little bit, everyone's a little bit getting pushed on edge, plus testing major previous breakout zones on a lot of stuff is a good sign. So I think we got a little bit more downside, And then once these speed lines break, like here's a good example to the upside. This speed line that I have drawn here in March is like, oh man, this is aggressive. It looks fine, but it needs to stay sustained or at least go sideways and then re-break out. It broke down, went sideways, but then got rejected. So now, kind of flip it around. Here, let's just flip the chart up. Look, it's bullish now. So kind of the same thing, right? If it's going here, oh, you can't really see that. Let's brighten it up a little bit. So it's going up here. So as soon as this kind of breaks, you know, then we can look for some, I think, serious bullish action. And we're probably talking some pretty gnarly rallies, like 5, 10, I mean, even like 15%. You know, the biggest rallies in most assets classes come in bear markets. So, like the most vicious ones, which is kind of funny. Scoopy time. Oh, you're trademarking Scoopy time? Scoopy McScoopies? Are you scooping it out there, Scott or Josh? Are y'all doing that? Are y'all getting y'all scoop on? Look at this trend line, too. If I just drew this over, it looks like it's touching it. Yeah, it is. How funny. I'm going to put that back, though, because whatever. I don't care about that. Horizontals are better anyway. Yeah, let me know if y'all getting your scoop on. I'll tell you one thing that really signaled to me that this shit was messed up is a few weeks ago, Russell had this funny thing, and on the show when I was doing them regularly, we talked about this almost daily about how the Russell wasn't partying with everybody, and that's a huge concern, especially for long-term bulls. And it tried for 1 week and then gave it all up from failed breakouts. Come fast moves in the opposite direction. Never forget that. That is such an important thing in trading. Anyway, back to my point. You get the failed breakout. It comes to the other side of range. It tests. It does okay. Defends. Then blows through all major horizontals and everything. And range. This is really bad. And then you get all these open and closes below the range. Super shitty, right? So that was like a bear flag pretty much. And price accepting. The market was accepting price lower. For weeks at a time. I mean, actually, this is like months. This is actually like 3 months almost. And then a couple weeks ago, you get this engulfing one past the bodies, and then open and closes below or above range or above a pattern or however you're kind of using and judging the price action. When you get open and closes, especially on weeklies and higher time frames, those are extremely important signals. And a few weeks ago, we got open and close weekly below all the range, showing continuation that the bears had lots of strength here, even after all this selling. That is never good. Major resistance. So this was kind of red flagging me a little bit, like, man, is this about to get fugly as hell? And it is. All these rallies keep getting sold into. Pretty much we're seeing in normie markets, it rallies in the morning, and it rallies viciously too, sometimes 2-3%, and then just gives it all up. And it's been doing that a lot lately. And another concern, you get the weekly open and close, always go ratchet up a time frame higher, and last month's close engulfed the previous 3 months on the Russell. And that's just, you cannot ignore that as a bull. If you do, I think that you probably should reevaluate some of risk assessment, because a monthly chart is no bullshit for trends. Like, the higher the time frame, kind of the safer and the better the signals, right? They just don't come as often, so people don't like to use them that much because it's not fun. It's not exciting. You look at a monthly chart, you're like, oh, cool. You know, unless you're like a fund manager or something and you manage millions or billions or trillions AUM, you know, then monthly charts are probably okay for you. But for the most normies, you know, they're trying to bake them tendies fucking real fast. Anyway, so that was kind of a bad sign. And then, you know, the market's been falling through. Oh, look at this today. I mean, holy crap. Giving it all up. Here's the rally in the morning. Literally today, did the same shit. Boom, all of it gone. Here's the rally yesterday in the morning. Boom, all of it gone. Here's a little baby one right here. Boom, all of it given up. It's been like every day for the last week or two. It's just been doing that. And it just makes new lows too. It's like there's just no bids anywhere. Trying to log back into my accounts. Security. Hopefully you didn't get blocked out. Based on this, I'm feeling much more eager, Beaver, for Scoopy time. Oh, okay, well, don't. I don't know anything, dude. Don't listen to me, bro. Don't get wrecked. No, but I think we are pretty far and deep in this hole. Like, it's close. It feels pretty close, but I still think we need a little more whoosh. I could see this month being... I think I posted it in our chat earlier, but, you know, there's a saying, sell in May and go away. And I think there's a decent probability that this is going to be like a buy in May and stay or something like that. For a little bit longer term swing trades, you know, maybe months or towards the end of the year or something like that. Because we're getting deep into these holes, man. And we're just coming up on major, major supports. You know, I mean, when you're looking at charts like this and we're finally in these... Yeah, this is a descending triangle with a measured move probably to the low end of range, but, you know, this is where you got to start flipping. It's scary for sure, but I think you got to start flipping your mindset and being like, okay, where's opportunities now? Oh, where's relative strength? I'll show you something right here that I've been eyeballing the shit out of this year's Tron. No one really talks about Tron, but look at this. It's down a little bit, but relative to the rest of the market, it's like... It's only down 19%, you know? It's actually making higher highs and higher lows on a daily for this whole year, which is complete opposite of almost everything in the market. So I don't know, I think that one's a little possible gem there, diamond in the rough, if you will. If you sold on May 1st, you'd be a genius, but by May 12th... Pimco has a squiggly line. Has any squiggly lines? I'm not sure. What does that mean? Pimco? Are you talking about like a stock or what? I'm not sure what you mean on that. Oh, let's look at your Doge Silver. I'm not sure how you use this or anything. I'm actually a little bit intrigued. But let's see. Do you do it this way? Does it like give you kind of any edge? It almost just looks like the Doge chart, really. Let's flip it around. It's going to be kind of the opposite. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any value in there. Just off the first initial look, I don't really see anything too great. I will show y'all one thing that I did recently, or I guess earlier in the year, because I haven't made many videos, so it seems like recently. But I took a lot of the minor stocks, and I made like my own little ETF basket, and it has these ones in there. I wanted to put some other ones in there, but they don't have enough price history, and so it cuts off, because a lot of them came out like last year, so then it cuts off a lot of this. And but anyway, the basket of the main vehicles for trading Bitcoin miners it's like GDX is a good indicator. It's probably one of the better leading indicators of price action for like precious metals and stuff. And so I've just been watching this to see if crypto's in that same kind of boat. Like, are miners smarter than, you know, the actual Bitcoin? And probably they are. You'd think that they would be. And so far, it's been held pretty good. Kind of like GBDC, you know, didn't make a new high when it pumped. Look at all that, way lower. It didn't break out over here either. It only got halfway up the channel and got rejected. So I don't know. It's something I'm just kind of working on. So maybe if y'all have any suggestions or something. Again, though, it's also sharing that we are towards the bottom of this range. Because look at this. We're testing the 2019 range. That's interesting. Let's zoom out a little bit to the weekly, make this easier to read. Yeah, look at that. We're going to the 2019 range, and we've pretty much tapped it and retesting it. So that's interesting. I will say mining stocks have become a little bit attractive to me. I did buy some... What did I buy? Oh, some Voyager. I messaged Joe about it. I haven't heard back from him yet, but I did buy some Voyager just to see. I don't know. They got earnings coming up, so I'll probably get slapped on it, but... you know, it's coming back and testing some of its range. I just did really, really tiny trade. I mean, that's like a micro trade. Because I didn't even know if I could trade it at first, so I just put in a little mini trade just to see if it would fill. And it did. It filled real fast. But yeah, some of these, I think... Oh, look, MicroStrategy. if y'all remember, it's a meme pair. Oh, PIMIX. Okay, need to do second and third order analysis to check the deltas. Okay. Oh man, MicroStrategy scammer. Look at this guy. We talked about this ad nauseum in the streams. It had the same trajectory, and we were like, whenever this breaks, the crypto market and the hype, and also all markets, it wasn't even just crypto, is probably done because it was like perfect meme hype energy back here at the very end of the .com bubble. So just really funny that ended up playing out almost to the freaking T, dude. I gotta trust myself more. It's hard to do when there's like a lot of people in your ears when you talk about charts, and it gets very emotional, as y'all have seen probably at some of the meetups with various different individuals. Let's see, PIMIX. Oh, is that a crypto? No, it's not a crypto. PIMIX. Yeah, that one's not pulling anything up. Oh wait, maybe it's this one. Primex? No, you said PIMCO. Isn't there a ticker something else? Let's see. Pimpco? Oh, wait. Damn, there's a shit ton of them. I don't know which one that is. Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to give me a different, another one there. Let's go over here to SIA. Oh, man, SIA. That's a good one to look up. I haven't looked at that. Okay, well, you know what? We're just going to go to storage coin list because I put all the better exchanges on these anyway. Where are you? Well, let's see solar real quick. I really need to start looking at different scoopy things. I think solar would probably be decent. Maybe fuel cell stuff. What's like Hood doing? Wow, Hood is at $8. Oh, look, Dash. See, this is another one that I knew was going to crash. Just being in the restaurant industry, I was closely tied to it. And, of course, I didn't freaking take any of this trade like an idiot thing. Hood is good. Yeah, PIMCO does. I just don't think that... I don't know if they're publicly traded. I think they just create lots of vehicles to trade, like Vanguard type stuff. I don't know if they're actually, like, their company is publicly traded, because you can see all their stuff on here is just all their bullshit funds that they make. So, yeah, I'm not sure. All right, let's go to these ones that Icky was asking about. Storage cryptos. Let's actually look at all of them because I'm curious. Oh my god. Filecoin is at all-time lows. Nice. Stacks, again, a lot like the other charts, coming into or already testing the 2019, 2020-ish area. This one doesn't look too great though. SIA coin. Oh my god, SIA coin is... What the shit? Brutal move on SIA, just sub-penny. Man, does SIA coin still work pretty good, Josh? Like, as far as, like, storage and having actual functional utility? Just curious. You would know that. I mean, Scott might know that too, but I know that's in your wheelhouse for sure. I do. Look, here we go again. That 2020s or 2019 kind of floors. Although, you know what? This is not the longest chart that SIA could have. What? I didn't type SHIB. That says SIA, dude. Y'all see that? That clearly says SIA. They're like, no, you don't get SIA. What the hell? What's up with that? I guess I can't be an idiot and have to type the ticker. Derp. Where's Poloniex? Because that'll usually be the longest. There we go. There we go. That's the one that should be on here. Is SIA coin Polo. There we go. Let's upgrade that. Yeah, so coming back on this major consolidation. Let's use the cheat sheet real quick. Oh, yeah. Major support on this consolidation. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I mean, above like a third of a penny, it's okay. Just above kind of this giant consolidation here. Hell, we can do a monthly chart on this. Oh, look where the monthly mama is. Oh, again, the mama has not bullshitted on crypto either. So funny, man. The mama is something special. Look at this. It broke right here. Tried to get back above it. Mama capping price off. No go. Ethereum, right to the T. Rejection. No go. Is it same with ES and stuff? Let's see. I'm just curious. Yep, same thing. No go, dude. That shit is stupid. Anyway. Storage. Let's go back to SIA. Wrap that up. Looks pretty decent. I mean, 382 is all the way down at 2/10. So, I mean, in bull markets, it's pretty standard to kind of retest those and just keep going. It does have a broken descending triangle type formation here. And it looks like the measured move is pretty much already hit. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this here. Whoa, I can't even see this. What the hell, dude? I need more pink. There we go. And we can probably do it from this middle. Yeah, so we've kind of already hit the measured move. Wow, okay, so that's interesting. SIA actually does look okay above about a third of a penny. How about made safe? Same thing, testing these 2019, even the tops of all this zone here. How about storage J? Same thing. Like they're all, like a lot of charts look like this. A lot of them look like this. So if bulls are going to step in, this is about where they need to. SIA is the best storage coin. I recently looked at their project again, and it's $2 a terabyte. And that's like super cheap too, right? Like via, you know, I don't know what, like DigitalOcean or something like that, or AWS or whatever. You can even see top traded stuff just getting hammered. Apple finally catching up. Apple, Microsoft were like kind of like holding the market up for a little while, but they finally caught up. But look where they're coming to. Look where Microsoft is on this trend line that literally goes back all the way to 2015. And we're coming right on it, and a major horizontal. So it's not just crypto that's getting into major support levels. And so in basic TA, when something breaks out like of a major resistance, say in crypto or like in this chart about right here, when it breaks out and bulls confirm that they have the ball, you know, that flips to major support now. It was major resistance. When you confirm open and close for a few weeks above that, then you flip it. And so now we're coming to a lot of those flipped support, like resistance to support levels. So I think we're getting a little close. It's just that bond thing is concerning me. The euro is concerning me. And the way the VIX is set up right now, and VVIX, is also very concerning to me. Oh, Hershey's, the super strong money. And bonds, I mean, it's attempting to break out right now. But I'm not really sure how to interpret this. The rates have just gone up so much, smashing the bonds. Usually they rally when the markets go up. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's not very sexy looking. In oil, whenever oil, I think there's a stat, whenever it doubles or something, in the beginning of a year, it's signaling a recession within a year. It's super high accuracy. It's like over 70% or something like that. I'm kind of going off the back of my head here and trying to remember. But yeah, it's some stupid number. When energy rallies really, really hard, it usually precedes a recessionary environment. What else? Oh yeah, VIX. VIX, this little slow trickle up with higher highs, higher lows. You know, we've talked about this formation before. These generally break out. And look at the EMAs. I mean, this is very, very interesting. And makes me a little nervous about getting too excited. That's why I'm just nibbling and keeping small or size positions, because this is just getting a little... I want to see this break down, really. And VVIX is also more weird. Also, just VIX in general is odd. Like, this isn't working like it usually does. And I've talked to some of my buddies that are way more in tune to the mechanics of the VIX than I am, and they're saying it should be about in the 40s, but there's something in the options market that there's not a lot of buying that there usually would be, especially given the downside price action. So given this chart, and this chart also looking to want to break out, making these higher highs, higher lows, And VVIX hasn't even gotten over 140 yet, which is like the threshold. That, like, when you get over 140, which is that orange line, that's generally where you're getting into the, okay, this is frothy to the downside. Like, I guess, wait, that doesn't make sense. This is getting a little bit fearful. It doesn't usually last up there for more than a month or so. Like, even a month is a long time. And you can see here, even in Corona Crash. Oh, hold on. Let's put it back on auto scale. Even Corona Crash, it was just about a month. So usually it does not stay up here very long. And we haven't even got that yet with all the selling that we've gotten. So that's why I'm a little bit concerned. I'm flipping my mindset to get ready to nibble. But I think there's still going to be one more whoosh. And then to the downside, as my friend that's been trading a long time, he calls it the Pink Floyd moment. I guess that's old trader terminology for capitulation, where there's no bids and everybody's buying puts at the bottom and shit. So I had never heard of that until a week or two ago. He was talking about it. Pretty interesting. Anyway, gold. Gold is also concerning too, because it generally rallies. And when I started the stream, we talked about 1-for-1s. When everything starts selling off together, that means bears are real strong. So, but again, look what gold's doing. Kind of like crypto and other stuff, coming to the 19 and 20 area consolidations. Let's make this chart a little cleaner. 20 consolidations and retesting. So, I mean, this could be a zone for reaccumulation on gold. It has been absolute monkey slaughter hammered. But we are right on top of the 200 MAs and some VWAPs and some good price action. Just kind of following the narrative across most assets on the board. So pretty interesting. Let's see what Hershey's is doing, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Look at that, Hershey. It's only down 3%. Oh, my God. Hershey's is like the best damn. It's like a cash equivalent almost, man. And I know I've talked about that a lot on previous streams. I call it the smart money indicator and other things. And it's just stupid, man, how good this is. I would hope Hershey's comes down some so I can buy some of their bonds and shit. But it's just like, it's no. Maybe this is distribution, though, before the whoosh comes. And then we get the whoosh to come test the 55 daily. And maybe even the 55 weekly on Hershey's, which would be right in line with the previous breakout zone, which would be pretty nice. Let's look at the cheat sheet. Let's see how many people are playing up here. Yeah, there's actually not that many people up here. Oh, y'all want to see the cheat sheet on Bitcoin? This is scary. No one likes that. No one likes this chart. Look at this shit. Let me clean it up a little bit. Take all my drawings off. Takes off some of the oscillators. Look at this. And yeah, I can leave all this from back here, but it's, you can see the point from right here, right? Look at this. There's obviously this big fat node here and here, and this is all the way at about 12.5 again, right about 12K, whatever that 12.5 level. Look at this though. Look how thin this crap is. Look at this. You can barely even see it. You know, look at it. When you zoom out more, it's like, what? Like, who's trading up here? And pretty interesting. And so now what we kind of almost have to think is, you know, it was the same. Let's zoom over and take off some of the price action. It was the same here, right? When it got up here, it went sideways in a giant range, and it was really thin too. So is it just going to kind of move over, and then like we get the node gets built up here at some point? I don't know. It's just kind of a crazy chart that literally it's showing another in the teens area, which almost, Scott, you're the only guy that I know that even thinks that 12 or in the teens is possible. Everybody thinks, hell, I guess really that 29, 30K was the floor. But, I mean, you can even see if this little gap in price, you can see that 24-ish thousand area, which is where we kind of got front run right here. Let's zoom in a little bit. You can see how we got front run a little bit. And there's that node there at 20K. And but this is kind of no man's land, so you know this can be whipping around 20-30% pretty easily. So I'm just putting in low buys. This is what kind of the strategy I'm employing now, is I'm just peppering orders in these low ranges of the previous kind of tests. So at least that's what I'm kind of doing. So let's wrap up some stuff here, some thoughts. Oh yeah, here's Euro. It looks like it wants to break $1. I mean, this is terrible chart, man. Coming down to these lows, testing them. But man, just absolutely brutal. Do I have any drawings on here? Yeah, breaking this channel that goes all the way back to 2000. It's a 20-year triangle, by the way. 20 effing years. Major resistance at 110. Just keep selling. Will this be a false breakdown and have an opposite move when they keep hiking the rates up, maybe? I don't know, but it doesn't look good. Even DAX. Oh, look, DAX is coming to test the previous highs, too. So, I think we're close. Not quite there, but close. I really want to get super long the Russell because of that. Like the how the DAX was and how you can see on here. Just another example of testing the 19, like 8, depending how old and mature the asset is, everything seems to be coming back to test the 18 to like 21 range, usually 18 to 20, like the tops of those ranges. So could be healthy, and this is generally like a good re-enter zone with lower risk, because when you're buying down here now, if it does keep going, shit, most stuff is like in crypto, it's around 20-30% risk till the next little zone of death. And it goes below that, you can just bail and re-enter later. And then we're in the same kind of realm, too, in normie market. So, pretty interesting. Osmos, just absolute terrible. They did some of that scammy shit like Luna did. So, look, the market knew about it for a while. Look at this. Lower highs, lower lows, over and over and over again. Trust the price. Trust the price. It is king. It's funny, my buddy, we were arguing about that earlier, and he's been trading successfully for like 20-something years, right? But he still's like, well, what about this or insiders or that? And I'm like, dude, that's all reflected here. It's like insiders are still interacting with this chart and this price. Like, it's still represented in there, Even on the weekly, people are like, well, it busted the 21 EMA here on a giant engulfing candle and took out all this consolidation, false breakout, until you get back above that candle. It's just hard. The market's telling you stuff all the time and bringing you new information, but like we, especially Americans, we are entrenched in belief system. It's almost like politics, sort of, where it's like, if you don't agree with me in like the polarization of politics now, anyway, in identity politics, it's like, if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. It can never be different, blah blah. But the market's trying to tell you, like, hey man, something's off, something isn't right. If bulls are supposed to make the market go up, if they stop doing that and get below just basic areas like a 20 simple moving average or 21 EMA, then you have to start questioning their trend. And who likes to admit that they're wrong? And in trading, you have to admit you're wrong constantly. And it makes it very, very difficult endeavor. So anyway, I could go on that rant for a really long time. Just believe the price, man. You're not smarter than the trillions of dollars trading all this shit. No one is. Not even an insider. That's what I told my buddy. I was like, dude, insiders get shit wrong all the time too. It's like, hell, that doesn't mean shit, man. It's all here, right in front of you. Let me clean this chart up a little bit. So, yeah, even here on this weekly, engulfing the previous month on a weak-ass attempt by bulls to break out on Bitcoin. And you get follow-through, and then you get below the 21 EMA. For a month, you get below it, too. It's not like it was just blew through it. It did here, but most of the time, it gives you a little bit of chance. The market is usually pretty nice. Even in SPX, if you go to like, oh, hold up. I just want to use this one real quick as an example. Even here, before the major 20% down day in a Black Monday in 87, the trend broke the week before that and engulfed the previous like 6-7 months of business. Like, that's trend changes. I don't know. Just listen to the price is my point. Don't be afraid. It's okay. Price knows. Man, look at this shit. Selling more. We're about to make... Jeez, dude. Brutal. Brutal. Is this about to break and make some new lows? Probably. Yeah, NASDAQ's already doing it. No, it's not. Sorry, it's almost doing it. I think one of them is YM is doing it. Yeah, coming back to this next horizontal. Oh, shit, though. Let's see where we are on this horizontal. Is this a buy? Because, man, below this level, this horizontal, my next one's all the way down at 29, so that's another 5% from here. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah. So we're close. I just still think there's some whooshing and probably realistically 30 to 60% more downside in a lot of crypto specifically, not like major markets, but in crypto, I think that's kind of like your risk. 30-ish% to the major next support levels. Below those, then it opens the door for way bigger moves, but, you know, hell, it's a lot more attractive than it was before. Hell, we all wanted this. We didn't want this to keep going up forever and needed a reset and all these ape fuck NFT shit and like that. I mean, you know, it was getting a little bit crazy. You know, kudos to you if you made some money off that. I had some friends that just killed it on NFT stuff. Just they made so much money off that crap. But they were in it like flash traders, man. They would mint the stuff and then it would pump like right at the opening of the minting, and then they would just dump that shit sometimes within an hour or less. You know, so they're pretty well connected and all that. But anyway, now the froth is out. They're getting hammered too over there. Everything's down 50 to 90% in NFT land as well. So this is the good washout. Hopefully we just establish this range, and that's what I'm kind of looking for, is some good poke downs. Get some little bit more volume here. We don't have a whole lot of volume yet. There's not capitulation type volume on any of the crypto stuff yet. So once we can kind of hammer that out and we get like a nice girthy candle with some girthy volume and kind of establish a larger range to the, especially for the bottom end of that range, then I think that's where we'll just go sideways for a long time and really bleed people out, because no one likes sideways is just as bad as selling off, you know. And you know how Bitcoin has done it. If y'all have been around for a while, which I know you in the chat have, if y'all been around for a while, it usually does this. Rallies really hard, aggressively, dumps very fast also, but then just goes sideways for like a really long time, for a year or two. I mean, what did it do in 2015 after the big 13 run up? That shit went sideways for almost 2 years before it did anything. Like sideways to slightly down. Same with 2018. Everyone probably remembers that March to the end of 2018 where it was just bouncing off 6,000 like 1,000 million times. And then it finally broke down. Went sideways, fat range for a little while. So that's probably kind of what we're building out here. We already have some of it too from about 30 to 48. So again, these weekly closes and this monthly close, I think, are going to be very important for almost every asset. So it's about time to start scooping in for me. I'm being very patient, though. It's probably the patience I've ever been. I just noticed when I've looked at my notes and stuff of trading in my history that I'm usually a little bit early on the downside to buy. So I'm just trying to curb that this time. All right. Let's see. I think that's it. Das ist alles. So be vigilant out there. If price keeps breaking these levels, do not be afraid to let go of a trade, especially down here, man. It's like we're already close to like some of the previous breakout zones. So if we start testing those again, then we can dump a lot harder. So it's okay to be wrong and wait for a better opportunity. I think that's the hardest thing about trading, is just your ego getting in the way. I could never be wrong. They told me crypto only goes up. Well, it also goes down a lot, 80, 90%. Y'all already know what's up. It's happened a million times. All right, so I think that's it for me. There you go. I'll see y'all guys at some point. We need to have a Doge, actually. Someone should post that in the meetings room. Maybe we can do one next Thursday or something. Or in the next few weeks or whatever. But we should definitely have a crash Doge. It's sub penny or sub 10 cents, guys. I meant to say it's in the pennies again. So please bringeth me 5-cent Doge. That's where I like it around here. Below 5 cents, man, shit, it probably does go to like a penny again. But which I think we'll all be loading the truck up then. I'll go get a job at McDonald's and put it all into Dogecoin at a penny. No, probably not, but all right, much love, guys. I'll see y'all around in the chat and other stuff. Just be careful out there. Patience. There'll be plenty of buying. Even if you don't get the ultimate dip, buying opportunities. Even if you don't get the ultimate low, it's likely going to chop down here a little bit. And, eventually we probably will get one of those really big, girthy upside candles. But those get revisited, too, Even when they get bid up off, a lot of times they will get retested. And let's just see if we can get some dailies on most assets getting above the 21 EMA for like a week or two. That would start looking sexy. And yeah, we'll just have to go from there. Maybe I'll do these like once a week or something just for the chat group. I don't really want to do them publicly, but yeah, maybe like we can do like a weekly wrap up like every Friday or some shit like that. I hope you all have an awesome day. Take care. Let's doge it up soon. Peace.